Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, man.
No,
on the show.
This is your home. So this is the studio, CRC. This is where you did Coloring Book.
Yeah, and surf. Yeah, I've been coming here for a long time. You know, it's just a nice facility.
It's a good vibe. Did the features on Coloring Book, did you do them here or were some elsewhere?
A few were here. It was more like the main team. But yeah, no, a lot of the features were sent. Yeah, for the most part, I'd say almost all of them.
Is there a feature that you were most like geeked about locking in for that album?
Yeah, Future. Future was the last one that I got. I got that the night of. I had, you know, a lot of people that I hit up when I was working on the third mixtape, and they all came through, and Future just took the longest. But it like that night.
So, okay, so I'm obligated then, since we're in a studio that you work out of right now, do you have anything you can tell us about New Chance the Rapper music?
Yeah, sure. Not gonna play any of it right now.
Okay, fine. That would have taken us to the next level.
I only said that because I was thinking about it for a second.
Right.
But yeah, I'm in dry erase board mode. So like I'm organizing and kind of trying to structure. But what's cool is like Ye's kind of got me in a mode of understanding like just your ability to multitask and work on different things, and he's always been on that. So because of like his ability to work on multiple projects, like I've been like actively working on the project with Childish. I'm gonna do a seven track with Ye.
Oh, you are gonna do a 7-track with Ye?
Yeah. Kanye's my favorite rapper that I followed, without knowing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald Glover's the first rapper that ever was come on tour with me. I like your shit that no one's ever heard of, my 10-day shit. I want you to come out on the road with me. Those are dudes that I want to do everything. I want to work on as many things as possible. And I would say I'm 30% on everything that I'm working on. At least 30%.
So it's all moving along.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a slow.
Do you have any timeline for the 7-song Kanye album?
I'm supposed to be working on it in July, so I don't know.
And what about Donald?
I'll tell you. We got 6 songs that are all fire, but I think the album's gonna be more than 14 songs.
Oh, you think it's gonna be like
I think it's gonna be like a full thing. I wish I had music out right now. Like, I got hella music. I got so many songs.
So you flip through the radio and you're like, why aren't they? We need that New Chance going on right now.
It's really just like I'm like trying to figure out how to release. Like I've just like that's like a big part of the art form for me is like what is the direction for it artistically, like in terms of the cover, in terms of like who it's directed towards, what perspective I'm getting off, and what perspective are people, looking at my shit from, like the time. Like,
are you considering selling the next album?
I used to be, but now I'm kind of like I want to get on my mixtape shit, just be like on some mixtape Wayne shit, because I got the best mixtape batting average, like out of anybody.
Facts.
So I feel like I could just take off. Like my Christmas albums were crazy, but that's the issue, yo. Like in all honesty, like I already juked the labels. Like at the end of the day, like I already got off all of these songs off swaps and shit, and I'm not gonna like go crazy on any labels right now. I want to make music and I want as many people to hear it as possible, but like, it's just like, how do you do that? How do you function when everybody's tied up to one of the 3 majors?
What about you have to have thought about, if I've thought about it, the idea of the Chance Childish tour. At this point, that feels like.
Yeah, we already did that. I would definitely do that again.
Like, but now you could do it like, I mean, we'd be getting close to, I mean, if you waited a little while, like that could end up being a stadium tour. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the path you guys are on.
You think it could be a stadium tour?
I think right now it'd be a big arena tour. But I think in 2 years that could be a stadium tour.
You got a lot of faith in me. I guess we've been friends for a long time,
no,
man.
You guys are just stars. Like every time I think it's gotten to a certain point, it like goes up. It's interesting that you guys are friends because your careers have both just keep growing on these different ways. Have you been blown away in the ways that he's grown recently?
Absolutely. Donald was talking about making a show for FX before he told me it was called Atlanta or any ideas for it when I first went on tour with him. It's never been like a competitive thing with us because
I do feel it's been slightly competitive, by the way.
It's not competitive because he's my mentor. He's an OG for me. Donald's 10 years older than me. Like, I didn't know shit about the music industry when I first met him. I don't think I knew I didn't want to sign when I met him. Not that not necessarily saying that he told me not to sign, but he definitely told me to get a business manager. That was like one of the first pieces of information he shared with me. Like, I always felt like he was somebody that wanted me to grow and I could watch and learn from, you know what I mean? So like, I feel a different connection to him because I feel like him doing some shit isn't like, damn, why is he doing it? It's like, oh yeah, I can definitely do whatever I want.
All right, so has anything over the last couple of years surprised you?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe 2 years ago, maybe more, I went to Dave Chappelle's show here in Chicago. He invited me after the show to come kick it with him, and I ended up talking to him for hours and hours. He basically, after that, became my mentor and became a person that I could and do call when I'm confused, and like just a very like important person in my life. Everybody grew up loving Dave Chappelle, but like my dad forced me to watch, didn't force me, but put me on his Inside the Actor studio, and he had like a lot of knowledge in there that like I held. Having that person in real life, in real time, on call, and like to trust me and to help me out with so many things was like a big thing in my life. I feel like it helps me with like understanding everything, from my family to my business, everything.
What was your favorite skit on SNL? By the way, on my sports talk show, you know, every single day when hockey comes up, we play Let's Do That Hockey. I mean,
I did not know that.
Every single day.
People love that. They think that's the greatest thing.
Sports people found it, there's something about it, because I think so many people are even people who are into sports don't really know hockey.
About hockey.
Right. First of all, which skits did you have your hand in writing?
So I wrote the Batman sketch and the Steve Harvey sketch. Yeah. The Batman sketch is my favorite thing. I thought it was so good and so smart. Just the idea of like accountability and of like the difference in how the justice system treats civilians and officers of the law. It's like, I don't know, it's just like the idea of like where that shit stemmed from and how we had it written was like so fucking fire.
It was so funny, but it did encapsulate such a problem. Like, wait, but why are these the people you're picking on? They're not really that bad. I guess they're committing crimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's such an interesting nuance to get into.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there are people who are committing crimes.
Oh, yeah.
But in terms of the world we're looking at and the threat that they pose, is that really the person that you want to be attacking, Batman?
Yeah, it's just the idea. I mean, like, just like to actually talk about like police force, like you could go to jail, you could see a judge, but really you could just get killed on the street for a crime that you haven't been tried for.
This issue appears to be so divisive, and I hear how a lot of white people tend to talk about it and how unaware and ignorant to it they are. And to me, it's the clearest place where you could actually get someone to relate. Because I would say to another white person, do you feel scared at all when you see police? I have zero, I'm just telling you, I have zero fear. I've never had a thought that this could go badly.
Here's the truth, police aren't really like implemented for you. It's like, so there's people that love the country and they're like, I love America. And it's like, it's easy to say that you love America if you think of it like Uno. Like, I could say I love Uno, but like, it depends on how I'm playing. If it's easier for me, if I don't have to play by all the rules, then of course I love Uno.
Best game ever.
But then when you start getting smacked with like oh, you can only put down one card, or you can only, that draw four, you can't stack a draw four, or you can't skip me after like when you actually have to play by all the rules and every single tax and tariff applies to you, then you're like, you don't have any choice but to play the game.
Right.
But you feel differently about it. It's not about social racism. It's about like societal racism, how it actually moves people, not people learning to sit down and understand each other's differences, but like people understanding that there are actual laws that physically move people and subjugate people and hold people, and like those shits, people shouldn't have to live their lives like that. And if you can understand that, then you can make a change.
That was very Michael Jackson at the end too. Yeah. Well, so tell me about some of the stuff you're doing, because you're very about it when it comes to being like like literally before you came here, you literally smell of chlorine right now. You were in a swimming pool with kids all day.
I was at the water park. So Kids of the Kingdom is a day camp that I started. I didn't start. My great-grandmother started it 40 years ago, but we took over Social Works, my nonprofit. Yeah, we had our orientation today. It's a faith-based vacation Bible school. So yeah, I was with a whole bunch of kids at a water park and got on a water slide.
It seems like are you around kids so much that at this point, like, kids are used to seeing you around?
Yeah.
Like, they don't even have the freak out of like, oh my God, it's Chance. Like, here comes Chance. Chance always here.
It's like their parents are trying to take a picture and their kids are like, leave him alone, he's eating. No, yeah, no, I mean, when you do shit for a group of kids or for an organization or some initiative, like, it just opens you up to how many other things are going on with other people. And like, if you care about humans, Joe, if you care about, you know, people, like, I don't know, you just gotta be on some real shit. And maybe I'm not articulating it right because I've been in the sun all day.
You were swimming with children all day.
But, you know.
Did you take any time to enjoy the Pusha T Drake situation?
It's like a weird position for me. Like, I got called out to work on Ye's album, and I didn't see that shit coming. I didn't know that there was gonna be like diss records. To be working on somebody else's album is like moving in with them. I mean, I technically did because I moved to the middle of nowhere for a couple weeks to do that shit, but I don't really want to talk about that shit. Like, I don't want to sit in this room and talk about motherfucking lyrical beef. Like, I've never been a nigga that really liked that shit.
It was just never part of your rap thing.
My favorite song's not Ether or Takeover. Like, I'm not like
not
like
your favorite Nas song, not your favorite Jay song.
No, I'm not like looking for the best like diss rap lines. Everybody finds that shit interesting while it's going on because people like conflict, I guess, when it doesn't have to do with them. But like, I don't know, I just be liking to make good songs. I could never make a good diss record.
It would be, I gotta tell you, I think you making a diss record would be trash.
It'd be terrible, yo. But also, I'm very, very raw at rapping. I could definitely ruin somebody. I definitely could go crazy on somebody, but
it just seems so antithetical to who you are, though.
Yeah, that's probably why it would sting so much.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, but I wouldn't do it because I be trying to make good songs, yo. That's what it's about, yo. I got hella raw ass verses, like one verse songs that won't come out because they're just good raps, like clever, funny, but they're just raps, like.
But when you think of people like Drake and Kendrick and Cole, do you think of them as being?
I definitely think of them as OGs. Kendrick and Drake both texted me the night of the Grammys to be like, congrats. And I think they're both, in different ways, people that give me a whole lot of love and like fuck with me just in ways that they don't have to. They doing their own thing. They're conquering so many different new things in their own territories. And I'm younger than them, and they like reaching back to be like, oh yeah, you should do this way, or congrats on this.
What's your favorite feature you've done? You have one?
I don't know. I've done some pretty fire features.
The Kanye feature was special.
People do like that a lot. Ye let me say on his album that I was going to win a Grammy that year off my album. I remember him coming to me and being like, yo, you think we should say Grammys on there? I don't know. I feel like it dates it. I feel like it makes it this, it makes it that. I was like, nah, leave that shit on there. Leave that shit alone.
Oh, and it turned out really well.
Yeah.
How close is the first song on Coloring Book to the Kanye album songs?
I was working on music that had gospel tinges to it, or like just like feeling, because I was very like inspired by that at the time. And I took it with me to Ye's to go work on his album. And then it was like, there was a feeling in there that motherfuckers wanted to make a gospel album in there. And so when I almost kind of like shied away from it towards the end of making it, where I was like, I don't want to make a whole gospel album. Ye called his album a gospel album. But what's funny is that niggas only think of my album as a gospel album anyway. So it's like, I didn't really dial it down, I guess, or enough. By the end of it, I was like, I need to make this more sexy. I need to make this more this. And then when it came out, it was like, even with all the insecurity, like how I felt in those original months, like came through. And it was like, I don't know, it gave me faith in it again, you know, once it dropped, and like people were telling me how they, you know, just how they felt about the album.
I think it's also appealing because you show your faith in God, but you also are kind of openly flawed. Fans of you know your vices. They know, like, you're an open book.
Yeah.
So, to me, I think when people get uncomfortable with religion is when they're like, I don't believe it.
I'm a Christian, so that means that I recognize myself naturally as a sinner. Like, I understand that just me living, like, I'm not a perfect person. Like, I'm supposed to be trying to be better. And so, like, I think other people are like, damn, like, he's not scared. I guess that's what people want.
Yo, so listen, I normally do a segment called Digging in the Crates, where I dig in a crate of records and you tell me what you think about them. But crates are heavy, so I brought a bag of records. Here we go. I'm gonna pull out an album and see what you think. How about this little ditty? Yeah, I said it. Lil Wayne, the Carter 3. Look at that cute little baby.
Whenever I think of the Carter 3, I think about the fact that there was 2 Carter 3s, and that the first one got leaked. And so Wayne had to remake the whole album.
He was #1 in the game without a shadow of a doubt when this album came out, in my opinion.
He made 2, Joe, and both of them were amazing albums. That's what's crazy, is that he flipped the script and dropped a whole classic after making a classic and having it stolen from him.
Scrapped it and said, all right, I got this.
Crazy.
He's also probably the most prolific rapper of all time.
Yeah, I don't know what prolific means, but I totally agree with you because I know it's positive.
Meaning making the most music.
He's definitely the best rapper alive, and still my favorite rapper to this day.
He's still your favorite rapper?
Absolutely, positively.
What is it about Wayne, like as a rapper, that you love so much?
First of all, he's the best. Secondly, he's just the best at rapping. I don't think there's too many rappers that tell you he isn't. Like, he definitely has all the different, like, got the #1s, the selling 1 million in a week, like Grammys. Like, he's the Michael Jackson of rap. He's been doing this shit since he was like 9 years old, right? I don't know.
Sweezy, yeah.
I get to keep him, right?
Yeah, these are all for you. How about
the Marshall Mathers LP?
That's right. That's right. Chance the Rapper. That's the Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah.
Whose real name, by the way?
Is actually Eminem's.
Yeah. His real name is Eminem's.
No, I used to love Kill You.
Kill You's the joint.
Yeah, that was me.
How big an M fan are you?
I used to only rap like Eminem when I first started rapping. Like, everybody sounds like hella different people. I only sounded like Eminem. Like, when I say I sounded like him, not just like my flow sounded like him, which they were, or like the intricacy of like the wording of shit, but like my shit used to be dark as fuck too.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really like dark music that much anymore. Like, I went to the Eminem concert the other day, and I used to love White America, but seeing that shit at Bonnaroo was just devastating, yo. Seeing a bunch of white people scream White America, like, beyond whatever the message is, that shit was scary as hell. That shit made me leave, yo. I love him as a human being. Like, meeting him at SNL, like, it was the first time I've been starstruck probably since I met Kanye West, honestly. What's the last one in here?
All right, you ready? Tell me if you're familiar with this one right here. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I already knew. This, Michael Jackson Thriller. Human Nature is the best song on this album, but this isn't Mike's best album.
Wow.
You know? Off the Wall is 1,000,000 times better.
You think it's that much better?
Off the Wall, man.
I think they're both really flawless pieces of work.
To be honest, since I already pissed off people talking about Michael Jackson before, I'm gonna say something else. Would I be wrong if I said Bad was more thematic and cinematic than Thriller?
It's a hot take. It's not.
Yeah, so you don't want to agree. You don't want to be on the wrong side of history. But I'm telling you, I got you with this take. If this is the hottest take ever, Bad, yo. I've always been chasing Mike. That's the craziest part, is that nobody could even understand ever in their life what Michael Jackson did for me personally. Everybody wants to be the biggest Michael Jackson fans. Like, I have the real, like, every cassette tape, every record. Like, my favorite Michael Jackson performance isn't Motown 25, and it shouldn't be if you're a real Michael Jackson.
What is it? What's your?
It should be the Ed Sullivan Show. It should be Who's Loving You. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how I'm coming though. That's how I'm feeling, and I'm not finna even argue with niggas about that shit, because I really know that shit. Michael Jackson had a fucking video game, Joe.
Popping game, too.
Yeah. But beyond the video game, the movie was probably the most viewed movie in my household, yo. He became a car in that movie. He transformed into a robot in that movie, a spaceship, a bigger spaceship. Like a bunny rabbit, literally turned into 50 different things in that movie. And that was that's what made me want to do this shit. Like, to be, not even to be a rapper or to be a humanitarian or anything, but just to be good at something and be a perfectionist and be like.
Could you ever handle fame like the kind Michael had?
No, never in my life. I'm like trying to figure out how to work around that shit now. Like, I be trying to like do hella regular shit to try and see as many people as possible in a regular day so that the next time they see me, they could cool out. But in reality, like, you can't control how other people perceive you.
Also, you're very recognizable. Like, not everyone has a look that's like, oh, that's, you are Chance. Like, you,
That's
by the way,
how I walk in the doors.
By the
like,
way, I mean, can I just give you a bit of advice? This is crazy.
Yeah.
What I want to tell you. Take off the goddamn 3 hat. I mean, you're going to be all right. They're going to spot you.
It's not going to help. I have a awesome face that's been everywhere in this bitch.
Yo, bro, thank you for having me, my friend.
No, of course. You're my longtime bro and confidant.
Confidant?
And
Really?
I call you about shit. I tell you shit.
You have. You've told me
tell
things.
people on the radio, but it's okay.
No, barely. But thank you, dude. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing what the year brings.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to come back on the show, yo.
Coming back already? Book
Yeah,
it.
dude.
Chance is coming back on the show.
I was tired this time, yo. We gotta
All
get
right.
a redo.
Next season is coming back.
Let's get it, yo.